Welcome to this Wood Solutions presentation on compliance with timber product standards. Standards describe minimum acceptable levels of performance or practice. Compliance with the requirements of a standard is essential in several cases. Firstly, if it's referenced in a law or a regulation. Then, if it's used in a product supply contract. And lastly, if it's needed to demonstrate product fitness for purpose. And we're going to look at each of these in turn. Laws and regulations can define the required performance of building elements by referencing particular standards. That means that they list the number of the standard that has to be complied with. All structural applications in building are regulated, so all structural timber product standards are referenced in regulations. As a result, all structural timber products have to comply with a range of standards. Standards called up in a reference standard also have the same legal force as the regulation. For example, let's assume that a building regulation calls up AS 2082 for visually graded hardwood. Now, compliance with AS 2082 requires compliance with AS/NZ 1080.1, which defines testing for moisture content. Moisture content testing is necessary because the timber's structural performance is related to its moisture content. So compliance with AS/NZS 1080.1 has the same legal force as the initial building regulation, even though the regulation does not directly include 1080.1. Standards compliance is required if the standard or a term used from the standard is used in a product supply contract, such as an order, or in a specification. Common market terms such as MGP 10 or Select are all product grades defined in standards. Company or customer use of these terms invokes compliance with the relevant standard. Many standards for appearance timbers are actually included in product supply contracts. Standard compliance may be required to demonstrate that a product is fit for purpose. Australian product and consumer law requires that the performance of a product matches its description and that it's fit for purpose. It includes penalties, enforcement powers, and consumer redress options. Compliance with the relevant standard may demonstrate that the material is fit for purpose. It may also be necessary for market acceptance. So, in summary, compliance with standard requirements is essential if the standard is referenced in a law or a regulation, if it's stated or inferred in a product supply contract, or it is necessary to demonstrate fitness for purpose. Most timber structural product standards are referenced in regulations, so structural products have to comply with a range of standards. Many timber appearance product standards are used in product supply contracts. And lastly, satisfying standards requirements may be necessary for market acceptance.